Welcome back to JB Reviews. Today is the day we're going to do a review on this 2023 Toyota Tundra. I am a huge fan of this brand, so here's a fair warning. I'm going to really be negative because of that. So I love this truck a lot. I think Toyota did a great job, but I think that they really screwed themselves because they made the biggest mistake of all time. And we're going to unpack that in this video. But without further ado, this is a 2023 Toyota Tundra, as I said. It's a crew cab, 6.5 foot bed. This is a limited trim. You have an SR, SR5, and then you have the limited. Now in the past, the limited used to be the highest trim level, but then they introduced the Platinum, 1794, TRD Pro, and if that wasn't enough, for 2022, they have what's called a Capstone, which is the highest trim level and the benchmark for this truck. But it doesn't matter because this limited has pretty much the same or similar features as a Capstone. For example, this has the projector style headlights, and I will do a video showing you guys these headlights too. So you have like a quad beam. One of those projector beams are going to be a high beam. And then check out this open grille down here. Everything looks great right here, I believe. I think this truck looks really aggressive. All LED headlight, and the fog lights are nicely planted right in the center there of the bumper. And one thing about these headlights, they do have really cool switchback features. I'm going to show it to you here. And as I mentioned, all LED, and these have a wide beam on the road too. You can't really tell, but you do have a parking sensor right down below. And then they're in the center there. The only thing I would like to see though is one on the side. So if you do park in the garage, it'll help to protect the side of your bumper. But open grille, there is active grille shutters, and if you don't know, this is a aluminum hood too. I saw a crashed Toyota Tundra a long time ago, or not a long time ago, like a few months ago, and I could see the aluminum because the paint was all scratched off. On the side, this one does have the 20-inch wheel. It is wrapped in a Yokohama tire, Geolanders, 265/60, and as I mentioned, a 20-inch wheel. And here's the capacities right here, 2,469 pounds, and that's going to be at 51 PSIs. So if you do plan on towing with a truck like this, I would recommend maybe pulling these off because these aren't really good tires for towing. They're really for just cruising and maybe just light load in the bed. 4-piston brakes, double wishbone suspension, and check out this gray fender flare. It does match the front grille, so I do like that they do that. However, I would prefer it to all match the color of the truck personally, but you do not have an option to do that. Now on the mirror, there's a lot going on around this thing. So you do have a black trim piece and then a camera down below, signal right here. And I love this little black trim piece that they give you. It doesn't break up the paint, and I think it adds a nice accent to the truck overall. The emblems on this truck was blacked out. However, you still have a little bit of chrome, and I'm okay with that because it's not a lot, and the wheels are kind of like a two-tone, has like a machine look as they call it. This one does not have the running boards, chrome door handles, and you do have a smart key system too. So if you push there, it will lock the door, and as you see, it closes the mirrors. You push your hand in the door handle and it'll unlock for you. Now one thing that I love about the Toyota Tundra, and they've had this pretty much, you know, on the previous generation too, is the larger fuel tanks. You're going to need it because this truck is very thirsty. So this does have a 32.2 gallon fuel tank. And as I mentioned, this is a 6.5 foot bed, so this is the longest bed you can get with the crew cab. And check out that frame. Toyota does have some pretty robust frames on their trucks. And for 2022 and up pickups, they did move to a coiled suspension. So in the past, they did have the leaf springs, and now they don't. You do have a button on the side here to drop that tailgate. It's a nice function to have. There is a power deployable step that comes out, is an option for this pickup truck, but this one does not have it. LED taillights, they have really cool like animations for them too. And check out the rear tailgate. You can see that that light's on for your conventional hitch, and you have a camera there. 4 and 7 pin connectors. This is going to be your reverse lights because they're not in the tail lights, and LED license plate lights. Class 4 receiving hitch, parking sensor. So there's a lot going on back here. And I will put a video at the end of this one if you want to see it. I did test the air suspension on the truck for you guys. I actually did the measurements for you too. And then check this out. This has a 331 rear axle, stainless steel exhaust system. And you can kind of see the air suspension. You probably can see it better from here. Right there. And I cannot wait to tow with this truck because I would love to see how you can lower the truck down a little bit to get under the coupler. And yeah, you do have some lights inside of the bed too. They're very bright. And then you have some up there too. Hopefully you guys can see them. They're actually on. Shark fin on the roof. And let's take a better look at the overall truck on this side. This paint, I'll put the name in here for you. It does make the truck look really cool. You get a lot of looks in this pickup because of this color. Now let's go ahead and pop the hood. Before I do that, blacked out Toyota emblem, and then check out your camera. So this does have a 360 camera because you saw the cameras on the mirrors, on the back, and then of course this front one here. Alrighty, so here it is. This is the biggest mistake Toyota made with this truck. I love twin turbo V6s. The reason why is they have low end torque, and when you're going up grades, turbochargers, as you see on diesels, are very helpful with giving you that torque in the right gears, especially when you have a 10-speed behind it. The problem is the 5.7 liter V8 was a monster, and they should have kept that engine for 3 model years, put the 10-speed behind it, and I think that Toyota would have really had a lot of people flocking to get that truck. Nothing wrong with this twin turbo V6. It's not proven though, and as you guys have seen with some articles, with some people on the forums, they're having issues with the turbos. And just because it's a Toyota, no one is excluded from having issues with anything. I mean, these are cars, they're going to have problems. But turbo engines are very, very sensitive. I always tell people, if you're going to buy this type of car, you got to use premium. Just because the manufacturer says you don't have to, they have to sell you a truck. But what I can promise you, higher octane is better for turbocharged engines because of the forced induction. It's a lot of extra air, a lot of extra force getting put into this engine, so you need it to be operating at its peak, and the horsepower and the torque speaks for itself. So this truck's going to have 389 horsepower, 479 pound-feet of torque, made it to a 10-speed, and first gear is a 492. So it is redonkulous, and that's why I say with this type of power, you really want to make sure you're putting premium fuel in this truck, because this is a high performance engine whether you look at it that way or not. Let's talk about the interior now. I think the interior is good enough. It's not the best, it's not great, it's just good enough. Soft touch where you like it, but there's a lot of hard plastics on this door card, but it does look good. I don't know what the heck this is. Looks like there might be paint or something like that. Seat memories, and as you guys saw, these mirrors do power fold. Now this isn't a high trim level, but it does have really nice features like the premium sound system, telescoping steering wheel, heated and ventilated seats. It goes on and on. Automatic high beams. Oh, there's a heated steering wheel. I was looking for that button, by the way, last night. And this button controls the bed lights, and up top you have another control for the interior lights. Now this telescoping steering wheel goes really good with these seats. You cannot operate the pedals, and this one has those all-weather floor mats. Great seating positions here. You can push out the front and rear of the seat, and of course you can recline it, and lumbar support is right there. I like the perforated look on the steering wheel, and check out the design on the seats too. That is cool. I think that that's something I've always liked about Toyota. They do some pretty cool graphics on the interiors typically. And as you guys saw on the steering wheel, you have that perforated leather as well on the seat. And let's go ahead and step in. This truck doesn't sit that high, and really most half tons don't unless it's lifted, but let's go ahead and start it up. So it is push button start. So you push it one time, this puts it into like the accessory mode. As you see right there, it says accessory. And then if you push it again, this is ignition on. And of course, if you push it again, now the truck is started. But here's what I don't like about this interior. Most trucks now have digital gauge clusters. I don't really care for that. It's not like an exciting thing for me until you use it. So this little tiny screen right there has a lot of information. It's hard to really decipher what is what. And that's what I don't like about this system. But let's go ahead and go through it anyway. So right now we were on the eco for fuel economy, things like that. And then it shows you distance till empty. If you scoot over to the right, you're just basically using these arrows left and right to go through the screen, and then up and down shows you some of the information. So this shows you your compass, which is really useful. And then this is for your radar cruise control. Shows you your audio, what songs playing. And then here's some information that's useful. So this is for your trailer brake controller. And then I guess this will measure how long your trailer is for the blind spot monitoring. Pitch and roll. And then your trip information, tire pressure, and then it goes back up to the top there. And you can turn on and off some of these systems, like your lane assistance, your pre-collision blind spot monitoring, your parking sensors. I don't know what RCTA stands for, I forget. And here's a few other things, guys. Trailer settings. Let's do this real quickly. Trailer settings is always useful. You have to hold it down, by the way. And then select or add trailer. So we'll go through this actually in another video. So let's move on. And then if you have any error messages, they'll pop up here. Now let's talk about your Apple CarPlay. So this does have wireless Apple CarPlay. When I left the house yesterday, I forgot to bring one of my power cords, obviously, for my phone. So this does have a wireless charging, and this is very useful. Now I always tell people this is great for traveling. So if you don't want your phone to get that super fast charge, if you're going on like a 3 or 4 hour trip and your phone's not really charged, this will trickle charge your phone, or it will maintain the battery depending on what you're doing on it. So with that being said, it's not going to charge it fast. So if you need a fast charge, you're going to need to plug into one of the USBs. But most people know about Apple CarPlay, so I don't have to spend too much time. If you hit this button here, this will take you back to Toyota's main screen here, and this will take you back to the Apple CarPlay. So it's really easy to use. And of course, this is your navigation here, and you have your audio. And then as far as some of your phone features go, if you guys have your phone connected, obviously you can put your contacts in. You have different devices that you can also have in here too. And then here is some of the trip information. Basically, like when you drive, it'll keep a list of your average speed, your trip duration, and it also keeps a history of like your fuel economy too. So we'll be testing the fuel economy on this thing. I will be honest, it's not that great. Now, unfortunately, in the past, Toyota's infotainment sucked. This is definitely a lot better. And you guys see you have different Bluetooth devices that you can manage here. It does have like general information too, so you can set up the date and time, the keyboard. I did turn off the beep noise because it was really annoying, and they allow you to do that inside of here. There is Wi-Fi as well, so it does have like a mobile hotspot. You can control the sound and the media inside of here. So there's like a lot of stuff that they do now. In the past, it was very finicky. It wasn't a great system, and they have definitely stepped it up, and they're moving in the right direction. Now, something I've always liked from Toyota is they always put your climate outside of the screen. I prefer this over it being in the screen. It's just more easier, and you learn the buttons a lot quicker too. Whenever it's in the screen, I feel like I'm always like just unfamiliar with it. So when you see hard buttons, you can turn your heated seats on really easily, your ventilated seats. your climate control. It's just really well thought out, and Toyota's always been good at that. There is one USB down below, and this truck does have a hold too, so if you are driving, you come to a stoplight, you can push this button here, and oh, you gotta buckle your seatbelt though. So unfortunately, yeah, I'll hold it, and so that way you can kind of rest your foot a little bit, and then if you're going, you can just hit the gas again. Electronic parking brake right there. And let's see, this is for your trailer. So trailer backup guide says no save trailers, TBG cancel, push OK to add trailer. So we will again do that later. We'll set that up, and then you have some different views for your cameras. So as I said, this has that bird's eye view, and there it is. I like that they do that. It's really cool, and they have the same color of your truck in the screen too. It looks really cool too, by the way. And you can pause it, play it, and if you want, you can do a 360 around the truck. And then if you click this one over here, you can change the color of your truck. That's really cool. I like that they do that. It's a simple thing sometimes, right? It's a simple thing. So let's go ahead and put it in drive, and let's hit view again. And let's see. So you have that, that's a frontal view right there. It's a big screen. I have to pull the phone way back. This is the rear view, and this is for your tires. You can kind of see them turning right there. And then you have your rear. This is good for off-roading too. And then you have a bed camera that you can zoom into. So if you have cargo you want to check on, you can do that. But apart from that, traction controls right here, your cautions. This is a manual adjustment for the air suspension, and then this also controls it too. Here's how you work your four-wheel drive system. And this is your driving mode, so you can swipe this clockwise or counterclockwise. I'm gonna go clockwise. You have sport, and then I'm gonna go counter, normal, and eco. And then this is how you turn on tow haul mode, and it does turn off your driving modes because it's gonna change the shift pattern for the transmission. Here's some cup holders. By the way, I could not get the wireless charger to work on my phone with my case on it. That's the only one that has not worked so far. And then check out some of your storage right there. This doesn't do anything, it's just fixed, but this does slide. And then you have buttons on both sides of this. And this one does have a lockbox inside of here. Not sure if that's custom or not, but you have two USBs inside of this area. And now that I'm seeing it a little bit better, this is just a aftermarket one, but here's just the storage right there. This little guy was in there. I just wanted to show it to you better. But let's go ahead and jump over to this side and then see some of the storage you have down below. Here's the door card for the passenger side and some of your controls. And you have the exact same seat controls that you have on the driver's side. So you can control the front and rear of this bottom of the seat, lumbar support, and of course you can recline. The air vents are pretty big too. You can close them off that way by pushing all the way to the right, and then you can control it up and down too. Grab handle. And there's enough space over here. The seat's not all the way back. I'll put it all the way back. Like, I have more than enough space. And then I didn't show this to you, but you do have a digital rear view mirror, home links on there. And then here's some of your controls. I'll show this to you here in a second, but let's check out your glove box. It's actually a decent size. Give you a little spot for your owner's manual, and it's assisted too. LED lights for the vanity, and here are the controls for up top. So you can slide this shade open and close for the panoramic sunroof. It goes all the way back too, so it doesn't stop. Normally it stops in the middle there. And then you can slide this. You also have a glass back there, so you can really open this bad boy up. And no other truck gives you that rear glass, and I don't know why. That's like the best thing about the Toyota Tundra. And then here's the other door card. Seat back pockets. They do provide a 60/40 bench too, so you can have some storage here, and I would like to see a flat floor surface. That's not something that Toyota does. And you do have a hump in the middle here. USBs, Type A and Type C, one of each. And then you have a power plug right there. A little bit of storage with air vents, cup holders, and in order to put the seats down, you have to pull this on both sides. And then right here, more cup holders. Now these outboard seats are not heated, surprisingly. And I didn't mention it, but LED lights front and rear. And even though this is a black interior, they do give you a lighter roof. And that's good and bad. It doesn't look good, but it does help you in the summertime when it's really hot outside. Now there is a window sticker for this particular truck. So here's some of the standard equipment. This color is called Army Green. Be sure to pause if you want to see more. I'm not going to go through everything with you guys. Now surprisingly, a lot of the things I thought were standard on this Limited are actually optional. Like these headlights. So these are the projector style. You get the reflective style as the standard equipment. Even the wireless charging for the phone is not standard. Some of the plugs that you see, we knew that the sunroof wasn't going to be standard, which is fine. But all in, this truck has a $60,998 price tag. And again, this is not a high trim level, so you still have 3 more. You have the Platinum, $1,794, and TRD Pro, and and the Capstone, as I mentioned earlier. So there's 4 above this one. So you probably could get an $80,000 Toyota Tundra. But that will pretty much finish off this video. I hope it was helpful. I have to go ahead and get the black trailer out of the garage, so I'm gonna go ahead and work on that. But stay tuned, I got some great videos for you guys. I did compare this truck to a Chevy Silverado with a 5.3 liter, and I did an MPG run. I also did a video with a Ford F-150 with the twin turbo V6. Which truck do you think got the best fuel economy? Video coming soon, but I'm gonna go ahead and pull the trailer out. You guys will see some towing videos with that black trailer, 28 footer, and you'll see them with this Amerilite, and we'll do some MPG runs as well. So stay tuned. I will probably do the next video showing you guys the lighting, and I will be doing some fuel economy runs unloaded too.